Sorry for letting you wait for 4 minutes. I'm sorry. पता नहीं क्या हुआ वो
No,
link I think maybe expired or something happened. So that's the reason.
it happens to the best of us.
So कैसे हैं आप?
Yeah. Absolutely fantastic.
So shall we start, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I have a lot of questions to ask, but I thought let's start this, and then I will ask so that our audience will also get to know that what exactly we're talking, right? So, I'm starting with my introduction that who I am, what I do, and I think it will be easy for both of us to connect. My name is Saquib. I'm a motivational speaker and communication trainer. I help students and professionals to become a better communicator. And I have been doing this for the last 4 years. I was in Saudi Arabia before. Then I moved back and I'm just following my passion as a motivational speaker and a communication trainer. That's what I know. That's what I always wanted to do. And that's what I'm trying to do. So this is a brief about me, but I want you to tell me and all my audience that what exactly you do, who you are, why you are in the industry where you are at the moment. And I want everybody to know this. Please, Vitali, over to you.
So first of all, thank you, Saquib, for inviting me. It's a privilege and an honor. Also, I'm very grateful that I'm getting to interact with your audience. And like you said, a very beautiful thing that you said, that this is what I want to be, right? With me, what has happened since I was a small child, I was always like this jack of all trades, master of none kind of a person, people who are like good at everything, okay, but they can't stick to anything, because they get bored. So I was one of those people. So when you're good at something and the whole world is saying that you're a great singer, so then you know that it is your calling. What if you're good at a lot of things? What is your calling then, right? So that was the problem with me.
Okay.
Later in my years, I found that money is something that motivates me, like earning a lot of money, not for the sake of buying things, but the power of buying whatever you want whenever you want. Okay. And the choice of, the choice is in your hands. I'm not buying something because I think it's stupid, not because I think I don't have the money, right? So that power I wanted. And that's why for 15 years, I worked like an IT strategy consultant, worked with the best of companies, traveled the world, lived in US, UK, Europe. And my mantra was work hard and party harder, So I handled office politics, being a woman, handling tough guys, the gundas of corporate world. So I did all of that beautifully, and I was happy with that. But then my son was born, okay, and after my son was born and spending time with him, so I realized that money is not the purpose of my life. I was wrong. Because what happiness I'm getting with him, I'm not getting it with money, right? So then I just stopped everything, like a full stop to my career. I left my job suddenly, just like that. And I started this spiritual journey of really finding out what I want to do. And it was the most toughest road ever. I lived in Buddhist monastery, silent retreat for two months. I met with spiritual gurus. I lived in caves. I met a lot of unique people during the journey. I lived in mountains. I read a lot of spiritual books. I listened to Sadhguru. I did a lot of courses. I also did a lot of learning phase, as in certification in counseling, certification in communication, life coaching, diploma in psychology, Reiki, NLP, all of that. Still, I was not nowhere close to my purpose. Okay. And then after doing all of this, one day I suddenly woke up and I realized that I want to help people in their emotional well-being. Because physical health, a lot of trainers are there, lot of fitness gurus are there. Everybody's talking about Zumba and this
Mhm.
and strength
Right,
training,
right, right,
but
right.
nobody is talking about what is your emotional health. What about your emotional muscles, right?
Mhm.
Are you really emotionally healthy? Nobody's talking about that, and that's what I thought is my calling. you know
Okay.
and I was like nowhere, I didn't know where to begin with. And this was 5 years back. Okay. And since 5 years, I have been doing this as a life coach, as a
Okay.
professional depression counselor, as a success coach.
Okay.
So, yeah, there has been ups and downs. I run my 5 a.m. club. I help people getting up at 5 and,
Mhm.
rearranging their lives.
Okay.
I run a 30-day challenge for people who want to achieve. I work with scientists, students. I work with clients from Australia, England, UK, Canada, and it has been fantastic. Like, I love my job. I just love it. I work from 4 a.m. in the morning till 9 p.m. in the night. I work all 7 days because when you
Right.
love something, there
Right.
is no concept of weekend, weekday for me, right?
Right.
And when I
100%.
was in
That's
my corporate, right?
right.
So, and
Right.
when I was in a corporate job, I used to wait for Friday, Friday night,
ये
and
फ्राइडे कब
Saturday and
आएगा, ये
Sunday.
वीकेंड कब आएगा, मैं कब थोड़ा
Right.
आराम से सो
Correct.
पाऊं, मैं आराम से उठ पाऊं.
And Monday blues, right? Now I
Right.
have no blues. There is
Exactly.
absolutely only this blue in my life, right?
Exactly. Exactly. That's amazing. So
So it has been,
as you said, you I personally feel our priorities change with time. As you said earlier,
yeah.
you wanted to have
Mm,
that power. So
yeah.
the mindset and the philosophy has been changed because of the circumstances, or what
Mm-hmm.
happened most of the time, we want to reach somewhere, and once we reach, we
Mm-hmm.
feel that it's not giving us that much kick, and I think I should change
Yeah.
my path, and I need to find something else. So you
Mm-hmm.
change your philosophy or your mind or your whatever it was because you found that, oh, I have done this, now I have to do something else, or because of the
Yeah.
circumstances you change your
Mm-hmm.
priorities.
And I agree with what you said, and I think it was important for me to get all the money and then leave it. You know,
Okay.
like for example, I always used to think I cannot be a counselor because I don't have enough pain in my life. I've
Okay.
been blessed
Right.
with a lot of things.
Right.
So how can I relate to anybody's pain, right? How can
Right.
I do that?
Right.
It's not fair. But I realized that I had everything, Sakib. I had a great job, great husband, son, all the luxuries in the world, yet I was not happy.
Okay.
So for me, I think universe wanted me to have everything and then
Mhm.
realize it that this is not it, right?
Right.
See, when you don't have some things, then you seek that, right? You don't have this, you
100%.
don't have this. When you
Right.
have everything and yet you are not happy inside,
Right.
then you question yourself, right? What is
Right.
it? Then what
Right.
is the answer to this, right?
Exactly.
So
And
only the one who seeks gets the answer.
exactly. And you know,
Right.
I would say your philosophy and your point of view, everything changed just because of the diversification and the experience and the way you explored
Absolutely.
things. You said you were in
Yes.
caves, you have spent time on mountains. I did not
Mm,
expect this. I did not know this. And the more we explore ourselves, the more we travel,
mm,
the more we meet people. I think we
mhm.
open ourselves and we learn things. You talk about the gentleman, Mr. Sadhguru, right? And I'm a big fan
Yeah.
of him. The way he speaks,
Yeah,
the
me
way
too.
his
Mhm.
philosophies, the way his ideas. What
Yeah.
inspire you, and what is the best thing you love or you like about Sadhguru? Why do you listen to
Okay.
him?
Yeah. So first of all, I think that what he talks is completely practical. You know,
Okay,
first he appeals to your mind. Okay, because you think, okay, this guy is, at least he's logical.
right,
That's what you think. That's the
right.
first impression you get about him. But later, when you really get into what he's trying to say,
Mhm.
when you overcome that barrier of how he looks, what he's saying, when you start to really know him, that's fantastic. That's a different journey altogether.
Right,
When you really feel the words that, like, for example, he said one day that the problem with the world is all the right people, right? All the good people are the biggest problem. Why?
right,
A good Hindu is always fighting with a good Muslim, right?
right, Right.
So don't you think that's the real problem? What if we are just normal people? What if we stop trying being good at something, you know?
100%.
What if we just try to be a big good human beings, right?
Right.
So that's I really connected with that, and I feel that he's very practical. I did courses with him. I lived
Oh,
in
okay.
his yeah, I lived in his camp also. I,
Great.
and I explored that part of it. And my journey has this weird things. So I do theater also. I've also won Mrs. Delhi NCR, because in the process of identifying what my purpose is, I have to go through so many things. And
Right.
now when I come across a body shaming, a person with having body shaming issues,
Right.
my experience with Mrs. Delhi NCR comes in handy. When I was
Okay.
doing it, I was like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing theater? What is the point of this? And I was good at it. So
Mhm.
people wanted me, but I was like, and now when I find people who are bad at communication, or feel there are emotions hidden inside that they can't express, then
Right.
I give them tips based on what I learned from theater.
Right.
So
Right.
everything is useful. I never wasted a single minute of whatever I did, because everything comes in handy when I'm doing counseling,
Okay.
because I meet
That
so many people
that's good.
all the time.
Uh, uh, I'm not that punctual, I guess, or I'm not working that hard. My ambitions are on the very, high or the top.
Mhm,
But the way you are saying
mhm.
that you're waking up at 4 a.m., you're working from 5
Yep.
to 9. And I think I have a couple of questions, which I have to ask you, but you raised a very good point.
Yep.
And I really want
Mhm,
you to talk about that, because this generation is
mhm,
genuinely facing this issue, that how to manage time, how to not
mhm.
waste their time. So, what is
Yeah.
that one mantra, I would say, or a message you want to give to
Mhm,
all the millennials, all the teenagers, that how they can
mhm,
manage their
mhm,
time and how to make their priorities and how to not wasting their time?
mhm, mhm. So I feel what makes that 5% of the people who are the winners different from the 95% of the people who are not, you know,
Mhm.
uh, is first of all, see, there are two types of motivation. We all know that external motivation, like I'm saying something, somebody is getting like you are probably getting a little bit motivated. Somebody listening to this might get, and of course, this is great. Listening to Sadhguru is also great. You know, then listening to videos, watching an inspirational movie, reading quotes, everything is absolutely fantastic,
That is
and it
external,
works, right? And it works for a small period of time, Sakib.
right?
It is temporary, you know.
100%.
What is really permanent? Like if you want to work like me, like 7 days a week, 4 a.m. to 9 p.m., is internal motivation. And internal motivation comes from finding your why.
Okay.
Okay. Finding your why means why you are doing this. What is the real reason you are doing this? If you want to go have a slim body, if you're going to the gym and you're not finding the motivation, ask yourself, why do I really want to go to the gym? Is it because I want to be healthy so that I can see my kids grow up and go to college?
Right.
Or is it because I have this body shaming issue, and not going to the gym is actually
Mhm.
decreasing my confidence?
Okay.
And when my confidence is down, I can't contribute to anything in the world. My purpose is not to just earn, eat food, and die, right?
Right.
My purpose is bigger than me. And if I have to find my purpose, I have to raise my vibration, you know. And
Right.
how do you raise your vibration? By following certain laws of the universe.
Right.
One is being kind all the time, being courageous all the time, getting up on time, sleeping on time, breathing properly, drinking water properly, and conducting yourself in a way that is in line with the universe, you know.
Okay.
And you might think that what is there at 5 4 getting up at 4 a.m., I work till 3 a.m., so that's fine. No, it's not. There are certain laws in place. Okay. There is a
Okay.
reason for why universe works the way it does, right?
Mhm.
And if you follow those rules, you know if you're honest to yourself, you will find that inner motivation. And that, my friend, is permanent.
Okay.
That is
So,
unshakable.
so you're trying to say that it is very important. No, no, what I think, it is I think हम सबको पता है, सुबह उठ के पानी पियो, just do yoga, do breathing, wake up on time, sleep, go to bed on time. We all know that. And it's and I think 90, not 99, 100% people know that कि ये करना ही चाहिए, ऐसा होना ही चाहिए. But still people are not doing it. By knowing that this is good for them, it should be do, it's supposed to do, but still people are not waking up at 5. Still people are not having enough water. Still people are not working out. What is the reason according to you for that? Instead of knowing everything, they are still not doing it. What? Because यहाँ पे जितने भी लोग हमें इस टाइम सुन रहे, तो उनको पता है कि क्या करना है. उन्होंने आधी जिंदगी तो सॉर्ट कर रखी है, सब क्रैक कर लिया, बट उनका प्रॉब्लम ये है कि यार साकिब भाई मुझसे ये होता ही नहीं है, मैं क्या करूं. मैं रात में सोता हूं तो लगता है उठ जाऊंगा 5 बजे. जब 5 बजे अलार्म बजता है तो मैं स्नूज का बटन दबाता हूं और फिर वो 8 बज जाता है, फिर वो 9 बज जाता है. तो उन्हें क्या एक ऐसी चीज की जरूरत है जो उनको हिट कर पाए टू डू व्हाट दे वांट टू डू और व्हाट इज राइट टू डू.
Like I said, first thing is to definitely know where you are going, right? You can't start driving unless you know where you want to go. First is that.
Okay.
Thing is, how do you eat an elephant, right? If there is a big problem, how do you solve it, right? If laziness is your problem, right, how do you solve it? By eating one piece at a time, which means take the smallest, tiniest possible step right now. Okay. So if I have to tomorrow, if I have to get up at 5 a.m., what is the tiniest, most smallest thing that I have to do today? Sleep on time.
Okay, right.
Right.
100%.
Right. That is the first step, right? And how do you do that? Now you work backwards from there, right? If I have to improve my body, what is the minimum step that I can do right now? Okay, don't plan. Do something right now.
Right.
Okay, take the first step right now. And I don't believe in doing yearly planning. I believe in doing daily planning. If you plan, if I, for example, if tomorrow I'm doing a session with you and I make one day fantastic for you, okay, like I do this motivation meditation thing and goal planning with you and do some therapies with you, and tomorrow you get up at 5, you do your meditation, you do your affirmation, you go to gym, you have a fantastic day at work, what will happen? You have eaten the first bite of the big elephant, right?
Okay, right, 100%.
That means you are one step closer to your goal. And if you keep working every day like that, what will happen is you will start seeing small success.
Right.
You will not realize, and you might have eaten the elephant by then.
100%.
So I focus on one day at a time.
Right.
Focus only on one.
Advice.
Forget about tomorrow if you'll wake up or not. Forget about that. Tomorrow you will go to gym, doesn't matter. Today, can you go to the gym right now? That's matter. That's what matters.
That's the great
advice. So focusing on one day only at a time. That's it.
Right.
That's the only.
So everybody who is listening us, I just want to say one thing. If you want to accomplish anything in life and you are feeling where to start, don't try to eat the elephant, as Mitali said. Just try to take tiny steps. Try to wake up at least for Monday. Don't think about Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. You just start. That I think starting is very much important. And as a motivational speaker, I just want to say that, I just love to inspire people. But with time or with experience, Mitali, I've just figured out that practicality is as important as motivation. I think you are trying to do the same thing in your own way. I'm trying to do the same thing in my own way. And with time, I think I have learned this. I think most of the people do not have a purpose to do something. And that is the biggest challenge, because if everything is
biggest challenge,
right, if everything is going well in my life and I do not have any purpose, as you said, if you do not have a destination, where will you reach? It's very important to understand. They're getting a limited amount of salary. They're doing party once in a week. Everything is going well. So there is no purpose. There is no stress on the life. If you ask them, they will tell us that there is a lot of stress in their life. But the question is, what are you doing to go to the next step? So people do not have a purpose in life. So I generally tell everybody that try to have a purpose in life. And then I think you can move for that. अगर सुबह उठने का कोई reason ही नहीं है 7 बजे या 5 बजे, तो क्यों ही उठना है? सोते ही
ही
रहोगे
उठना
ना,
है, करेक्ट.
10 बजे 11 बजे, इट्स ऑल अप टू यू. सो इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. So that's a great
Yeah.
point. Start, at least start doing it, and then you will, on your way once very soon. So we are moving to
Yeah,
the
and
next question.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, you were saying something. You were saying something.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to everybody who's listening to this that, even a rocket takes the maximum fuel during the start, right? If you start it, you have already done the toughest task, you know, because once you start, then you're on the go. The
Right.
only challenge is first to start, right? The maximum fuel is taken there. So I think if you
100%.
do that, you're all set.
Right. You raised a very great point. I just want to add something more in that. आपने
Mhm.
बिल्कुल सही बोला. स्टार्ट करना ना बहुत ही ज्यादा डिफिकल्ट भी होता है. मुझे एक
Right.
बार ना when I did my graduation, तो I always
Mhm.
wanted to go abroad and I wanted to work there. तो मैं
Mhm. Mhm.
2014 में I went to Saudi Arabia. So वहां
Mhm.
पर I was working there और मुझे लगा कि यार अच्छा, मैंने शुरू किया था, मैं सोच रहा था मैं जाऊंगा और आज मैं आ गया. And after working 3 years, I decided that यार मजा ही नहीं आ रहा. मुझे मजा नहीं आ
Mhm.
रहा, मुझे रात में नींद नहीं आ रही, मुझे कुछ और करना पड़ेगा. एंड आई कॉल्ड माई
Mhm.
फैमिली एंड आई कॉल्ड माई डैड के यार मुझे मजा नहीं आ रहा, मुझे नौकरी छोड़नी है. तो माई डैड कॉल्ड मी,
Mhm.
यार सबको बाहर जाना होता है, तेरी लाख 2 लाख रुपए की सैलरी है, सब कुछ सेव हो रहा है, सबको अब लग रहा है कि तू सेटल हो गया, एंड नाउ यू आर सेइंग दैट
Mhm.
यू आर नॉट हैप्पी. व्हाट इज द
Mhm.
रबिश कॉन्वर्सेशन इज दैट. तो
Right. Right.
मेरे पास वो एक मोमेंट था जब मुझे सोचना था कि मुझे करना क्या है. क्या मैं यहाँ पे
Mhm.
रह लूं क्योंकि मेरे अकाउंट में पैसा आ रहा है, या मैं छोड़ दूं
Mhm.
वो करूं जिससे मैं करना चाहता हूं. तो
Mhm.
वो एक स्टेप मैंने उस दिन लिया कि मैं मेरा
Mhm.
करियर के बारे में कोई और नहीं सोचेगा, ओनली आई विल थिंक व्हाट मेक्स मी हैप्पी.
Mhm.
सो वो
Mhm.
एक स्टार्ट मैंने अपने करियर को दिया था. इन
Mhm.
2017 आई जस्ट did this and I said I'm not going to do this. Even my mom is not
Yeah.
happy, my dad is not happy, that's not my concern. मैं यहाँ पे आ चुका हूँ
True.
और मुझे यहाँ से जाना है, मैं
Mhm.
करना चाहता हूँ कुछ और. तो आपने बिल्कुल
Mhm.
ठीक बोला, वो डिसीजन बहुत डिफिकल्ट था, उसमें बहुत ज्यादा फ्यूल लगा था, मेंटली
बहुत ज्यादा फ्यूल
इमोशनली
लगता है.
बहुत ज्यादा. और सब को लगा था वो डिसीजन गलत है, और शायद कुछ लोग आज भी
Mhm.
सोचते होंगे, बट आई
Yeah,
थिंक
yeah,
दैट्स
yeah.
हाउ लाइफ गोज. सो स्टार्टिंग
Right.
करना बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है, अपने डिसीजंस पे रहना बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है. सो मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. आपने जैसे बोला
Sure.
कि इंटरनल मोटिवेशन इंपॉर्टेंट है. मैं ये जानना चाह रहा हूँ मोटिवेशन इंपॉर्टेंट है क्यों, मतलब व्हाई, बाहर से
Mhm.
अंदर से, व्हाई इज इट इंपॉर्टेंट,
Mhm.
और क्यों आजकल हम जैसे पीपल हु जस्ट वांट टू इंस्पायर पीपल की का जन्म
Mhm.
हो रहा है, इसकी क्या जरूरत है, मतलब
Mhm.
एक इंसान को
Mhm.
मोटिवेशन की क्या जरूरत है अकॉर्डिंग टू.
Mhm. So I believe in evolution of humans, and I believe कि एक time पे वो जरूरी नहीं था, because
ओके.
everybody knew what their purpose is. Their purpose is to take care of a tribe. Women have a purpose of childbearing, and they know how to do it. They are doing it well. They were supposed to take care of the well-being of the family, and it
राइट.
was actually true. It was not nothing wrong with it. They were doing their purpose because that was the purpose.
राइट.
But as humans evolve, there are a lot of new things that are there, and we have to adapt as humans. Okay. So much happened during the last 10 years from the time mobile came into, and then Instagram and Facebook and social media and everything became online. We were not prepared for it physically,
राइट.
okay, and not emotionally. Right. So what happened was, physically we were trying to manage, people get eye surgery, and back, everybody's having a backache and neck problem, everybody is having that, right? So physically we are taking care of it also, but what about the emotional part, right? We ignored it for a long time because it was handled, it was handled through exercise and playing and running, but nobody's playing now, nobody's running now, nobody's walking that much, right? So it is not being handled,
ओके.
and in therapy we say go for a walk. It was not required earlier. Why? Because now nobody's walking, right? And that's why it is important. Walking also has direct connection with your emotional health, but nobody
ओके.
knows that. In Buddhist monastery, I learned about walking meditation. The Buddhist monks walks for 23 kilometers every day. It is part of their meditation, not exercise. Okay, exercise is different for them.
हाउ मेनी
So
किलोमीटर्स?
there is a 23 kilometers every day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it is part of their meditation. You're saying, you understanding what I'm trying to say? So walking has direct connection with your emotional well-being,
Okay.
which means that because we are not taking care of it physically, we have to take care of it verbally, like talking about it, venting out, taking care of it by doing some therapies and exercises, right?
Okay.
And that's why motivation is similarly very much required, because when you're not communicating with physical people, there is no energy exchange, right? There is when you don't connect with people in real life, there is no energy exchange. And that's why you need some kind of motivation coming from books, coming from people, coming from podcast, coming from trainers. It is a must thing. It is something that is mandatory now. The
Right.
positive thinking, the positive energy, it has to come from somewhere. It is a
Right.
learning, right, for
Right.
everyone. And it is a
Great.
must.
Great. It is must. I genuinely believe that, I think we do all feel low at times, right? We feel that
Yes,
things are
yes,
not
absolutely.
going well. I took a
Mhm.
decision in 2017 that I have to come back to India and follow my passion. And I still 100% believe that I will reach where I want to reach. And I'm on my way. I'm doing much better now. But
Mhm.
sometime as a human being, I feel that things might not work out. Things will not
Mhm.
place according to me. What
Yeah.
happen? What
And
if I?
let me tell you, Sakib, if it does not go according to you, it will be great. I'll tell you why. Because universe has bigger plans for you, right? you
100%.
might you might not be able. Did you ever think that you'll leave everything and become what you are doing right now? No, right? Did you ever think? You
No.
wanted to go abroad and work, right? And you did that. You
Right.
planned and you did that, right?
Right.
But you never knew that you'll come here, right? Did you
Right.
plan it?
No.
No. So universe will always do things better than you plan.
100%.
So,
I
so
believe
never
that.
do a long term plan. Always do a short term plan. Focus on what you can handle and
Right.
leave everything to the universe, because universe has better plans for you always,
Right.
right?
100%. Agreed. Agreed. That's a great learning, I would say. So
Yeah.
this is a motivational part. We can motivate at times. And what about skills? This is
Mhm.
my next question, which I want to ask, which everybody is listening us. What do you think that what is the most important skill in today's time
Mhm.
for this generation?
Mhm.
Like, I want to become a pilot, right? I want to become a pilot.
Mhm.
So I have a motivation. I'm working out. I'm just preparing for it. But
Mhm.
eventually, I just need to know how to, fly. It's very important.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
according to you, you are working in
Mhm.
this industry. So, according to you, what do you feel? What is the number one skill, according to you, which need to
Mhm.
know or need to learn by every human being or this generation?
So my take on skill is that the one skill that you or everybody should have is the skill of learning and upgrading yourself all the
Okay.
time,
Okay.
which means that you should be learning all the bloody time. That means every second of every day, whether you're interacting with kids, you're interacting with your maid, you're interacting with your driver, or you're doing nothing and watching YouTube videos. You should be learning all the time, which means if you're a pilot, think of how to become a better pilot. Think if
Okay.
you're doing training, if you're doing strength training, learn Zumba also. If you're becoming a life coach like me, learn NLP also, learn therapies also, do a course in psychology also. Always upgrade yourself.
Okay.
Always keep learning. Not because I've 5 years, I've become a life coach, so I don't need to learn. No, I keep joining courses, I complete courses. I did tarot also recently. And the point is, if you keep upgrading yourself, what happens is you keep your mind open, okay, for
Okay.
accept. For example, if you say something amazing to me today, I will keep
Mhm.
my mind open to it, and I will think about it, right? And that will give me a different point of view for looking at things, for
Right.
looking out of the box. And
Right.
that's how you create beautiful things, by learning.
Right.
So my advice to all youngsters and everybody who's watching this is always have the skill of learning, the
Right.
skill of upgrading yourself,
So you are trying to say it's
whichever
very
field you
important
are.
to upgrade yourself time to time and learn the
All
things.
the time.
Being a communication trainer. My I just want to share my take on that. I genuinely believe, and I'm 100% sure. Uh,
Mhm.
in this century, Communication is the number one skills which is required for every single human being. No matter if you are into dancing or you are doing rapping or you want to become an engineer or doctor or whatever you may want to be, right? It's very important because what I found, because I'm interacting with the students and professionals on daily basis, Mitali, you won't believe people are not, good to express themselves. It's not about the stage. It's not about they're talking or speaking in front of 10, 20 or 100 people. If they are talking to their manager, if they're talking to their spouse, if they're talking to anybody, they're not good enough to express themselves. And that is the biggest challenge we all are facing. You're talking about emotional intelligence. You talk about, how don't become an introvert, try to express yourself. Communication is the biggest challenge nowadays for personal life and professional life. And I genuinely believe that communication is the number one skill of 21st century, and every person should learn how to become a better communicator. And that is my passion is all around. I really want, I'm just trying to help every students and professionals that how they can become a better communicator. That's why I'm doing this sessions. I gave the name Become a Confident Speaker. I want people come here and talk what they feel, and people should listen that and understand that communication is very important. I was in Saudi Arabia. I was interviewing people there, and I still remember there was one guy who was elder to me, and after having a few minute conversation, I told him that we will get back to you. He smiled and he said, sir, I believe you will not hire me. I just want to know the reason why you will not hire me. What if you will not give us a call back? I smiled again, Vidali, and I told him that, what do you think? What if you will not be hired here? He said, I don't know. I have a degree of a reputed college. My marks are good. My experience is up to the mark as per your profile. So why? I told him, do you know yourself? He said, 100% I do. I said, talk about yourself for next 5 minutes. And he started speaking. And after 25 seconds, he stopped. And he said, can I have a glass of water? I'm feeling a little bit nervous. So I said, this is the problem, my man. Communication is very important. It doesn't matter in which industry you are. It doesn't matter what you are doing. It doesn't matter you are, healing people. It doesn't matter you are resolving a conflict in a relationship, or you are addressing audience from the stage. If you do not learn the art, and this is a very technical subject, I would say. People think that if I learn, speaking or this language, so I will become a better communicator. That's wrong. Speaking and communication are two different aspects. So for speaking, you need language, but for communication, you need to learn the art of communication. And that's the long chapter and subject.
Yes, and absolutely. And I agree with 100% with that. And I also believe, like you said, communication is an art, and people don't understand that there is a verbal communication and there is a non-verbal communication also, right? Because, sometimes you meet people who walk in the room and you know that they're special, right? So what is it? Why do you think it's special? Is it because of the clothes? Is it because of their body language? Is it the way they are walking? Or is it the way they are making eye contact? You just don't know, but you just know that they're special, and people empathize with each other just by looking at each other. You meet someone and you just feel like talking to them. Because you think that they will understand. They are the kind of person who will understand, right?
And I think it's a combination of everything. Your eye contact, your body language, the way you're smiling, the way you dress up. It's a combination, right?
Yep. And also, I think it is also your thought process, because once you are thinking positive, there is a vibe you create. There is, there is some people say the person is very comfortable in his own skin. What does that mean, right? So if you love yourself enough, if you're so comfortable with yourself, it comes across very clearly. And when you are in your own aura, in your own zone, people love to talk to you because they know that you're real, and that, I think, once you communicate in a real way, in the real most honest way, that level of communication is fabulous. Like you said, it is not about the language.
It's not
It is
about
not
vocabulary.
about only about vocabulary. It
Right.
is also about the confidence and energy that you
Right.
bring to the table, right?
Right.
When
Right.
you're your own, when you're faking it, people will
People
just know,
people eventually will
right?
get to know if you're faking it, right? I can say that, oh,
Correct.
I'm earning $1 million, in a month, and that's fine. You will get to know easily. Everybody knows everything, right? It's not easy to just fake it. So people just love this
Correct.
concept, fake it until you make it. I think this is a wrong
Yeah.
analogy of life,
Yeah.
and you should be as real as
Yeah.
possible. People love
Correct.
real things and real
Correct.
people.
Because that's what something that lasts, right?
100%.
And yeah, and good people, like you said, good people stay behind in life just because they're not able to express themselves.
Right. Right.
And I think, even though they take longer, it is right now, it is the time to upgrade themselves to learn this skill, because communication is a great skill to have.
100%.
And you absolutely help other people by having that skill. If you have something to share with the world,
Right.
if you're not communicating well with the world and telling them about it, then you are not only doing something bad for yourself but for the world, if by not contributing enough, right?
100%.
So
100%.
definitely a
That's
great
that's
skill to
that's
have.
really amazing, and I'm sure everybody who's listening us, the way you shared your
Mhm.
views, your experience, people will surely get that. So let us conclude this here, and before that, I just
Mhm.
want you to tell my audience that
Mhm.
how can you help them, and if you want to give one message at last, what
Mhm.
it would be, and then we will close this conversation.
Okay, so uh, thank you, audience, for having me here. Thank you, Saqib, for having me here. It was a pleasure talking to you. And to all the amazing audience that are listening to you and listening to me right now, I would like to say one thing. Uh, a person who is looking at the goal will reach somewhere, but the person who's enjoying the journey will go the farthest, which means you can go beyond what you're thinking if you're just enjoying the journey of life. So enjoy yourself, enjoy your spiritual journey, find your purpose.
Very well said. Thank you so very much. So, everybody, if you want to know more about Mitali, please go and check out her Instagram. That is, I have it still with me. That's Mitali Jaywal V, right? This is the one.
That's correct. That's correct.
This is the one, or I will
Mitali
mention.
Jain.
I will mention here in the comment or in the description. You will find it out, and you can just follow her. And at last, I just want to say, ladies and gentlemen, that the reason why I'm all doing all this, I just want to give the message to everybody that please wrap your head around the number one skill, that is communication skills. And every Sunday, I'm doing a free workshop of 45 minutes of my signature program that is called Become a Confident Speaker. If you are listening this and if you want to join that, the link is already in the description. I just want you to just go register. It's free for all. It's a 45-minute packed workshop where I will tell you how to become a better communicator, because this is the number one skill. And thank you so very much, Mitali, for joining me. It is my pleasure. I just want to mention this. I forgot in the beginning. I saw in Instagram, I saw one of your posts where you have done some poetry podcast or this live with somebody, I don't
Yeah,
know. So
yeah. Open mic.
that was the update or the picture I have seen, and I thought I
Mhm,
want to do a live with Mitali, because
mhm,
I know nothing about poetry, but I love listening
mhm,
that. So I thought, यार
mhm,
ये मुझे करना पड़ेगा, वो calmness उस
mhm.
picture में, and it was very relaxing. और मुझे लगा कि यार नहीं, ये मुझे मुझे I should approach Mitali and ask her if she's available. We will surely, because of that post मुझे ये mention ही करना था शुरुआत में, but मैं भूल
नहीं
गया.
नहीं बिल्कुल.
तो
आपने मेंशन किया था. This reminds me कि when you meet like-minded people, no, it's like a mind spa,
right,
right?
right,
When you
right,
meet like-minded people, it's like you're taking a mind spa, listening to them, listening to their shairi, listening to their Hindi poetry.
right.
And we had old to old people and young to young people, and even my son did like a session of poetry there, and
Oh
people
wow.
just loved it.
Okay.
Like the youngest mind, 7-year-old kid is sharing his thoughts in such a beautiful way, even though his spellings are wrong, but the
Your
thought
your
was at
your
the right
child,
place.
your child.
My son.
Oh
Yes,
my God,
yes,
that's
yes.
great.
So he shared his poetry too, and they were like, "You have to bring him in the next open mic."
Oh, wow.
Like we have this thing every month once, and it is just fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah.
To whom will you do this, all this?
So there is a community who invites, like you invited me. Like there is a community who invites poets and writers and short story writers and
Wow.
feminists, things like
Okay.
that.
Oh, that's
So
great.
we do that.
कभी कभी
Yeah.
कभी कभी आपके पास टाइम होगा तो हम जरूर एक पोइट्री से रिलेटेड एक कॉन्वर्सेशन जरूर रखेंगे 15 मिनट का.
Definitely. I would love that, Saqib. I would
That's
love
great.
that.
That's great. We will surely plan out. So, audience,
Mhm.
there will be a great news for you. And whenever Mitali will be available, we will surely do, the conversation around
Mhm.
poetry. Because as I said,
Yeah.
I know nothing about it, but I love to hear and I just love to know and I love to talk to people who love poetry. So that was
Yeah.
great. So that's it, Mitali. I
Uh,
just want to say
yeah,
you were
thank
saying
you,
something. You
Saqib.
were saying
And
something.
yeah, I wanted to just add that I'm running my 5 a.m. club program, which is starting on 7th March.
Okay.
If any of the young people want to get up early, like if that's what they're thinking about, if they're going on my Instagram profile, they'll find out about it. I'm starting that 5 a.m. club from 7th of March, a 5-day workshop.
7th of
So
March.
they
चलिए
can
इसको
check
इजी कर
out.
देते इसको इजी कर देते हैं. जो भी इसको सुन रहा है कैसे कैसे वो ज्वाइन कर सकता है, क्या प्रोसेस है, क्या है?
So the link is absolutely there in my Instagram post. There is a link of joining, booking the session.
Okay.
If you go to my Insta, the last post that I have, it talks about what is done there, and the
Okay.
session
I
starts
just
at
want to show
5:30.
everybody. This is the post, right?
Yes,
Okay, done.
that's the
ठीक है.
one. Yeah.
तो इसका लिंक कहाँ पर है, मिताली?
If you go below that, there is a InstaMojo link
Okay.
from which you can register for the session.
ठीक है. ये बहुत
So
इंटरेस्टिंग है.
it
मैं इसको बहुत ट्रांसपेरेंट करना चाहता हूँ. ये मैंने देख
is,
लिया. फॉर एग्जांपल मुझे ज्वाइन करना है, मैंने लिंक क्लिक कर दिया. इस ये पेड है तो इसका क्या प्राइस है और इसमें आप क्या देंगे
So
7 दिन में?
correct. So it is a live session. So
Okay.
like we are doing right now. So this is a live session that happens 7th March onwards at 5:30 a.m. in the morning.
Okay.
So 5:30 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. for 5 days straight,
ठीक है.
Monday to Friday.
Monday to
Okay,
Friday.
and the charges is very nominal, 299 for the 5-day session.
Okay. 299,
So
299.
299, 300 rupees you can say.
Okay.
So for a 5-day workshop.
इसमें
And
आप क्या
it is
बताएं,
like,
इसमें आप क्या बताएंगे अगर डिटेल में आप मुझे छोटा सा बता
correct.
पाए?
Yeah, so it's like we spoke about कि rocket को starting में fuel चाहिए होता है, right?
ठीक है.
Maximum fuel is required at the start. So
ठीक है.
this is that fuel.
ठीक है.
Okay, if you have to restart your life, right? 5 day में I can't change your life, but
100%.
I can give you that starter push.
Right.
Okay, to restart your life in a way that is absolutely fantastic and that cannot fail.
Right.
If you just do what I'm teaching you in these 5 days,
Right.
for the next 30 days, you are set. So in 5 days, we basically train you what to do.
Okay.
And how to do it.
Okay.
And what are the benefits of it, everything.
Okay.
And then from 6th day onwards, your habit of waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning is already established.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Okay.
That's great.
So that is, it's like something, because you know that once you are waking up at 5 a.m., your life is going to change for sure.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And what is the best way of waking up at 5 a.m., right? So that you make it as successful people make it, right?
Right.
What do they do? What do successful people do in the morning?
Right.
That makes them successful, right?
That's great.
So that's what we talk about in those 5 days. Every day, there is one session and one task every
Okay.
day that you have
Okay.
to do. Yeah.
Amazing. So everybody who is
So,
listening this, ये 5 a.m. का क्लब ज्वाइन करो. मिताली, आफ्टर दिस कॉन्वर्सेशन आई एम डन. आई एम योर स्टूडेंट. और मुझे बड़ा अच्छा लगता है कि जब भी कोई नई चीज शुरुआत करता है तो मैं उसमें कोई कंट्रीब्यूट कर पाऊं. और just for the sake of contribution, along with that, I want to learn what you are telling to everybody. I am enrolling for this after this conversation. I will surely see you as your student on the 7th of March, and I want to request everybody, if you want to do something big, try to take big decisions and prompt decision. इतना मत सोचो जिंदगी के बारे में. और अगर यही सोचते रहोगे कि इसमें भी बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे होंगे ना, अरे को 5 बजे उठने के लिए मैडम क्या सिखाएंगी, 299 ऐसे सब बोलते हैं. पता, मैं भी जब अपने ट्रेनिंग्स देता हूँ ना, तो सर 999 में क्या हो जाएगा, 2000 रुपए में क्या हो जाएगा, आप क्या कम्युनिकेशन से. सो इस तरीके की ऑडियंस हमें जरूर मिलेगी. But if you are listening
बिल्कुल
this, I'm telling this, ज्यादा मत सोचो, जो चीज तुम्हें लगती है कि तुम एक स्टेप आगे लेके जा सकती है, always do it, always support a good cause, always support good people, and always try to keep upgrading and learning yourself. So thank you so much, Vitali, and I just want to signing
my
off from
pleasure.
now, and it was great pleasure to talk with you, and thank you so very much for joining us, guys. We will see you very soon with new guests, with a new conversation, with new topics. Till then, थैंक यू सो वेरी मच। और अगर आपको बिकम अ कॉन्फिडेंस स्पीकर का जो मेरा फ्री वर्कशॉप है ज्वाइन करना है, लिंक डिस्क्रिप्शन में है, जस्ट गो एंड रजिस्टर योरसेल्फ। आई विल सी यू सून। थैंक यू सो वेरी मच पाली। आई विल सी यू ऑन 7th of March। Thank you so very much. Bye bye,
Yes,
see you,
yes,
take care।
absolutely. Thank
Great
you so much.
talking to
Thank
you।
you. Bye bye.